What is up, guys? Your boy Mike back here again for Mike's Money Move, guys. If you guys haven't been to the channel before, we like to talk about making money and saving money. This is a short little video, guys. I want to show you guys a short little video, guys, on how to buy a used iPhone. We're going to be showing you guys exactly a few little tips that might actually help you buy an iPhone without even knowing. So I'm going to show you guys that in a short little video, give you guys a POV and show you guys now. See you guys then. Alrighty, guys, so we're going to switch over to this phone mode, guys, just to give you guys a nice little POV of what I'm looking at and what you guys need to know. So firstly, if you guys are buying a used iPhone, you need to obviously firstly check out the condition of the actual phone itself. So first thing you're going to look at is obviously how the phone actually looks and to see if there's obviously any damages. That's going to be the first thing you're going to look for. So in particular, this is one that I bought used a little while ago just for this video, just to show you guys exactly what is sort of going on, and I thought I'd make a video of it just to show you guys what you need to look out for. So the first thing you're going to obviously look for is if there's any cracks on the actual phone itself. So turning off the phone, you can actually have a look to see if there's any cracks. And it's always good to have a look when you get the chance if there is. Sometimes there is a screen protector on here, as you guys can see here, just on the sides. There is a screen protector, so that will make a difference. Make sure to double check and see if there is any other cracks on the inside. It does make a difference if you do see the cracks sort of here and there. But if you're not too fast, if there's cracks on the bottom side of it or the front, then it's fine. And again, sometimes they do have cracks on the back. Anywhere from the iPhone 8 and above, use a glass back panel. So by using a glass back panel, what happens is it can get cracked, and being wireless charged, it does affect because it does heat up this sort of area, which can damage it. But I know a lot of people that do use it, just put a case over it and the rest is pretty much fine. So let's have a look at something else that is a big factor. So if it does have a home screen still, you'll need to make sure that the home screen definitely works without any issues. So two things that people don't look at is they don't look at obviously one, if it actually does work, and two, the fingerprint scanner. So some of the older ones do have fingerprint scanners. If you are looking at a newer one, iPhone X and above, make sure the Face ID works, because that will show that the face recognition definitely does work, which you can have problems in the future. For example, this one doesn't have the Face ID, but it does have a home button. So what you will need to listen to is obviously the sounds. So let me try to let you hear it. So if you can hear this one, it is making a bit of a clacky sort of sound. If the iPhone that you are purchasing makes a sort of a clacky sound, it means there has been some sort of issues here with the home button, where it may either be tampered or it has been a little bit loose. As you guys can see, it should not make a clacking noise like this. So again, that doesn't mean that it isn't going to obviously make a problem with it. It means that it still works. It just means that there might be internal issues in the later future if you don't mind that. And again, what you will need to look at as well, guys, again, like I mentioned, you need to find obviously the fingerprint scanner and make sure that works. So what you need to do is go to settings, then you'll have to find touch ID, and then what you need to do is you need to add a fingerprint, and that is one thing you need to check to make sure it works. So again, try your fingerprint and make sure she works. If she does, happy days. You've got a fingerprint scanner that works perfectly fine. But if you buy one that doesn't work, usually what that means someone's obviously replaced it and it doesn't work, or it's something a little bit older. iPhone 6s and below don't have any of this. So that is one thing to check out as well. All right, next guys, the next other thing that you definitely should look at is obviously, you know, the phone camera. That's the next thing you want to look at. So you want to make sure the camera actually does still work. So what we want to do is go to the camera app and obviously make sure she does work. Obviously try and focus on a couple different things. So this is a good example. So check out the front camera. Front camera definitely works, which is perfectly fine. But the rear camera, if you have a look at this rear camera, guys, the quality isn't exactly the best. If you guys can see that. So I'll just quickly hold this one here, just so I can show you guys it. And just like what you guys are seeing here, it does look a little bit blurry, and let me show you guys why. So the physical camera that I purchased over here, as you guys can see, there are some cracks on this camera, and it is a little bit dusty because of the cracks. So camera definitely does work, but obviously because of the cracks, that is another thing that does not work. So that's one thing you obviously need to make sure to check, because if the camera doesn't work, that's a big and very expensive cost to you guys as well if you guys are buying a purchased phone. All right, so obviously next up, obviously the buttons are a couple of other major things to look at. One thing that I know a lot of people don't actually look at, which I had a problem in the past with my experience, is the actual sound itself. So you need to make sure two things work before you purchase a used phone. One is obviously the sound, so the speakers do work on both of them. So speaker and obviously headset when you are calling somebody. So the best way to do it is to go into sound and then have a look at the sound settings. Let's have a listen. So sound works perfectly fine here. So it sounds like it's working good. Again, you can check obviously your tones. So very interesting, guys. If you guys can hear that, you can hear a little bit of a buzzing on this actual phone itself. So again, guys, I bought this purely out of will. I had no idea what was wrong with this phone. So now we're finding out together. So this phone, it sounds like the vibration is a little bit loose. So inside majority of these phones, there is a little vibrator where you guys obviously, turn off the vibration on and off. And it sounded like it had a bit of an issue, but it doesn't have that issue with that sound anymore. So that means that it's most likely probably loose on the inside. So if I carry it up like I mentioned, it makes that noise, but if I put it down, it's still making that noise very slightly. So the vibrator is obviously loose, and again, remember this one had the home button issue as well, which is making that vibration noise. So most likely what's happened is it's probably gone loose on the inside, which may be a pretty easy fix for you guys because the finger works, the vibration works, and the sound works perfectly fine. So the next best way to obviously find out if the sound on the top actually works or not, you actually just have to obviously put your SIM card in and obviously make a call. Obviously make sure to bring a SIM card and a SIM card tool. If you guys know what a SIM card tool is, it's basically one of these little bad boys where you pop out the SIM card and put it in. Make sure the calls and texts and data work obviously before you buy the phone. But again, if you put your SIM card in and you make a phone call, you'll be able to find out if that actually works. If for some reason you guys are still wanting to go through it and it doesn't work, or you don't have another SIM card spare with you, don't stress, there is another way around it. What you guys can actually do is you can actually go into utilities and go to voice memo, and what you can actually do is record your voice. This will do two things. This will, one, obviously check the voice command and make sure that the microphone works, and two, by playing it after you're done recording it, you can actually hear if the headset piece actually works, because that is where it comes out of. So if I actually go to voice memos, and what you should do is press record, then what you do is record your voice. But with this one, this particular phone here, it does not work. So when I actually bought this phone, I'm actually buying it because obviously I was going to use it as a hotspot, and obviously for just trial periods, just to see how you guys go with it and show you guys exactly what you need to buy when you're buying secondhand. So this microphone actually doesn't work. So this was a clear way for me to obviously check. So number two, make sure to troubleshoot again. And then what I did the second time, went out, made a phone call, and that obviously didn't work as well. So once I did make the call, it obviously let me, but obviously in this case it doesn't. Let's try 000. But see how I can't change it to speaker? That doesn't work either as well. So just to give you guys an idea, those are 3 little tips that you guys can use to make sure you check your phone that people don't realize. And that's a pretty good one as well. I'll go through just one more, guys, and to show you guys one more different thing. Obviously the battery is a huge difference. Great things about iPhones that a lot of Androids don't have is battery health. Battery health basically tells you what is the actual maximum capacity that the battery is going to last. So what that basically means, it's on 70% this particular phone. This is an iPhone 7 Plus. So what this actually means is that battery that was in there, originally it came with 100% charge. So that means that when you're actually charging this phone up to 100%, even though it says it here, the capacity of the battery only lasts up to 70%. So what that actually means for you guys is that the battery doesn't actually last that long. So it only lasts up to 70%. But in saying that, it just means that the battery is not 100% from where it was. Easy example would be if you put your batteries in your remote, over time it's going to slowly stop working. Same thing with phones. Phones do the exact same way. A lot of the times this is pretty much due to people charging it consistently, non-stop, and obviously, charging it irresponsibly and not all the way. But that is a couple of little tips. Hopefully that helps you guys. So guys, that was a short little video, guys, of how to purchase a used iPhone and a couple small little tips and tricks that you may have not known. So a lot of the times when you guys are buying pretty much a phone that is used, there's a couple things that you sort of forget to look for, and there's one of the things that I wanted to show you guys as well. So hope you guys enjoyed that little tip and trick. I hope you guys enjoy this one, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace.